Our world needs young people that are coming from different stories, different backgrounds, different narratives than what we often see in leadership. Our world needs kids that hold these different experiences, both locally and have had that exposure globally. I think we see our country becoming more and more and more diverse, and we see our leadership continuing to look more or less the same.
I do think that our students are cultural ambassadors, and I think it's really important for cultural ambassadors of America to look like the way diverse America is.
The challenges that they face are, the fact that they persevere through them is just like that rose that grows through the cracks, and it's just like they have that ability, and they deserve to persevere through a challenging trip like Thailand or anywhere else in the world.
Thrival has been an idea that's been kind of kicking around in people's minds in different ways, born out of the idea that the recognition, the appreciation that study abroad, that travel is truly powerful and transformative and necessary for our young people and for our world today, and it's very deeply inequitably accessible.
Thrival Academies specializes in working with public school districts to create in-district schools and to create charter schools. And the vision is to get any student in a public school in America, give them the opportunity to take a junior or sophomore year abroad in Morocco or in Ghana or in Cambodia. And Rustic Pathways is the education and travel partner that has the expertise and depth and local staff to make that possible.
When I first heard this idea, I was so excited because I know the power of travel, but I had never thought about the possibility to do this as part of public education. I was like, whoa, this is new, this is different, this is something that no one else is doing, and this is a way that we could change the game. We could change the name of education in the United States doing something like this.
We came together about 2.5 years ago and started tossing around this idea of what would it require, what would it mean, what it would look like to build eventually a network of public high schools where the students traveled abroad for the majority of their year, and they got their credits, and it was something that was made accessible through the public dollars and through the public school system.
Given the unique context, we were really thoughtful about how we want to approach the requirements that they need to meet as 11th grader in a K-12 system, but also how can we kind of build in the social emotional learning, this interpersonal skills of it. In terms of what we did while we were in Oakland, again, they were projects that were designed around these content skills. So our students are getting all of their core exposure to all the core subjects, so English, math, science, history, but it's woven into real-world experiences.
Out of the traditional sense of having 6 different classes and rotating every day, this self-directed learning style allows kids to really take ownership of their education and pace themselves at the way and style that they like to learn. I like that it's not just traditional lectures and note-taking, but applying some of these skills outside of the classroom. When we've taken small trips to Lake Tahoe and Big Sur, not just because they were field trips, but because these are also opportunities to learn out in the field.
So the way that we've laid out this program is in 4 units around 4 different issues. The first one is Thai culture and values, the second is agriculture, the third is biodiversity and conservation, and the fourth is development, urbanization, and globalization. So for each of these units, they'll have assignments that they have to do prior to leaving for a trip. Then they will go into a homestay experience or a travel experience that builds on that understanding, that gives them an on-the-ground look of the issues. Once they return, all the students have to complete projects to synthesize their understanding of the issues. So tying together the big picture stuff that they've learned in the classroom and the very small picture detailed stuff that they've learned on the ground in their homestays.
In high school, it's really easy to feel like you need to get a perfect grade on a math test, but what that actually translates into your ability to do in the world, I don't think is clear until you get outside of the classroom. And so I think the earlier we can take students outside into the real world and help them connect all of the things that they're learning in the classroom to the real world and how they might make change in their community or on a global scale, the better off those students are and the better off we are as a global community.
For a lot of our students, they're very cognizant of the fact that these opportunities are not accessible generally to students like them. Their eyes are on the future when they think about this program. It's immediate future in terms of this is going to help me get into college, but for them, they're also realizing that this is going to set them apart.
I think it's exciting in that opportunities like this can be afforded to kids in inner cities and disadvantaged communities, as well as providing an education opportunity for students in a setting that is outside of their normal comfort zone.
When I first came to my school, they gave like a short presentation about what their program was about. I thought it was really a big thing because it's not only going out of state, it's going across the world, and it's for free. And me being how my family is, I don't really have the finances to do that by myself.
It's like a mentality in Oakland. It's like you're gonna always stay in Oakland. A lot of my mom's friends still stay in Oakland. They died in Oakland, they're in jail in Oakland. So it's like you won't ever make it out of Oakland. And my mom, she always tells me growing up, she like, I didn't go to college because I didn't think we had the money to go to college. And I just needed my mom to tell me that I don't worry about the money, I got you.
I think if I would have been given this opportunity at her age, I would have started the journey that I'm on now. I'd have started it a whole lot sooner because I'd have known that I can do it. To be able to know, okay, if I study hard, if I work hard, I'll be able to go to Thailand, be able to see other things and be able to travel and get a stamp in my passport. Yeah, I'd have did it. I'd have did it in a heartbeat.
It was a hard decision leaving my school because I have a lot of friends over there, and this is my 11th grade year. I had a lot of teachers that were excited to have me in their class for the new year, but I just know that this is what's going to be beneficial for me moving forward in my life, so I'm glad I made this decision.
I think personally, for me, it's hard to make new friends because I'm not really the kind of person who goes and like, hi, my name is, like, you know. I think everybody has like different personalities, so it's kind of hard and challenging to be able to connect or work together. You need to know how to deal with other people that are not like you.
I think our kids are tremendously, enormously brave for signing up for this, and I think they are going to create ripple effects in their community that they and we probably can't even imagine. I think they are going to go back home to Oakland and they are going to be models for their peers, they're going to be models for their younger siblings about what opportunities can and should be available and where one can go, where one belongs. Without them, all of our efforts, all of our partners at the school districts, all of our funders, none of that actually allows for this to happen. It's the kids and the families that have been brave enough to sign up for the very first cohort of this that are the ones that are making this all possible. And so they are blazing a trail, they are creating the opportunity for future students, for future school districts to be able to have opportunities like this.
I feel like before going to Thailand and like experience all of that, my friends, like people that I call my friends, I know them for years. Now, like other kids that are in this program with me, I can call them friends, and only we were met for like 3 months or like 6 months. And it's just amazing because I thought that I'm not the kind of person who go and like, oh, hi, how you doing, you know, to like a stranger or someone. And now I feel like I can do that. Like, it just, I don't know, I see people that I don't know and I just like started a conversation and then we talk about like stuff that I talk with my friends.
By being able to interact with the family at the homestays, it kind of made me want to rebuild my connections with my family back here because they weren't as tight as they should be. But being over at the homestay, I was able to have a lot of fun with the family and they made me feel really welcome and I really enjoyed the experience. And so when I came back, I wanted to make sure that my family could be the same way over here.
My hope for them is that they get out of it way more than they expected. I think each of them has a different reason for wanting to do this, and I hope they get that reason plus a million more. If I look at what travel did for me in high school and I think of what it could do for them, I think we can change the trajectory of these students' lives. Whether that is because they're more self-confident or they discover what they want to study in college. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be different for each student, and I don't think that I can predict what it's going to be. I know that it's going to be impactful. I know it's going to be meaningful. I know that they are going to grow in ways that we can't predict and they can't predict.
Bible Academies is something that every school needs to do. I strongly stand by that. It's like I wasn't looking for these opportunities and it just fell upon me. And I took a hold of them and I really seen the good out of the situation. Some kids are not mature for this opportunity right now, but I think there's a lot of kids that are mature because of what they go through at home and that they do need to get away and they do need to see that it's not bad everywhere and you can do better for yourself.
Throughout this whole program, I've become a more happy person. I don't know, I feel like there's always this burden from being in the community that I grew up in. There's always violence or something, and just traveling, doing all these sort of different excursions has made me feel more grateful and just overall happy about being alive.